Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 7th of March 1972. Now, in this video, what I want to do is correct a pretty bad mistake I made in the last part, which has been reinforced by me making a video on the new update. This is the update that introduces loyalty. So what I want to do in this video is allow my construction officers to catch up with existing works, fix the mistake, talk a little bit about the strategy going forward, especially in the context of the new update, and also talk a little bit about how the new update is going to affect the way I'm going to play with this series, because I have every intention of taking this series and the Four Corners series through this update, which means we're going to have to deal with the arrival of loyalty when the update drops. But first things first, I'd like to say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me so much to think about, and what can I say? You guys made me have a major rethink about this area, because I greatly underestimated the requirements for supporting 5 coal mines, and I'm not totally convinced I actually need 5 coal mines. And it also coupled with the new update, I've kind of had to have a major rethink in this area. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually demolish all these coal processing plants. Now, I'm not going to remove the coal mines. I want to leave those in because we started building the roads out to them, and I do still want to build these roads. Now, whether all the coal mines will be made active is a debatable point, because I think I need to take another look at mods to see whether I can find a large coal ore processing plant. But what I want to do is just remove all this from here, and I'm just going to get rid of the conveyors as well, because I've realized that this is absolutely terrible. So we'll just remove that. As I say, we're going to leave the coal mines in as place markers, and we'll let the road crew come out and make the connections here. Now, my original plan was to build a mining village here, but having seen the new update, especially the option that will allow workers to be forced to transfer bus connections, I'm starting to think now that what I'm going to do is expand Coalville out this way and make it a far bigger city than I originally intended to build. Also, the fact that we got lots and lots of spare workers here. Unemployed workers in this area. So what we're going to do is push out this way with Coalville, so that what we'll be able to do is actually send buses up to the coal mines and the coal ore processing plants eventually, so they won't be in town here. Also, somebody suggested that I should actually put in a local public transport system based on rail, and I actually quite like that idea. So that is going to be our way forward. There will be no new town here. The other thing I also want to do is effectively start to bring this town to life, and this will be my main steel production town. So because the steel is over here, so what we're going to end up with is a big industrial sprawl over here. I've also rethought the plan here for putting in a major cement works. I think this area is going to be a bit too crowded. So what I'm planning now is that we need to push out this area, and I've got coal over here. I think probably the best way forward now would be to build a town over here where we can produce the cement, and what we could do then is put a rail connection in and use that to distribute the cement across the map. I think over here there will also be more space for possibly some helicopter based distribution, especially from the perspective of shipping out asphalt and concrete, because of course up here we've got the oil fields as well. So I think this will be the side for that form of production. And again, I'd like to reiterate a big thank you guys for pointing out that whole area was a complete and utter mess. Now, before I start talking about the new update, I just want to give you an update of where we actually are. You can see the farming is going pretty good. We still got quite a lot of crops here, which is going quite pretty well, and I think I've still got a big surplus of food, although we are dropping down a bit now because we are pushing out more there. The bio plant is now operational here. I'm just going to jump the speed right up now. So we've got workers in here producing fuel. So I think in the short term now we have cracked the fuel situation. The one thing I do need to do is actually possibly get another distribution office in to actually send the fuel out, because at the moment I'm using this distribution office to send the fuel out from both locations. So what I'm thinking is that I need another distribution office here. I've got a. It's quite strange actually. I've literally spent the last 10 hours or so working on the new update to make the video that I've just published on the same day as this, and it feels really strange now to be back playing on current update. I think what we can do, this just needs prefabs. We've got loads of them, so I think we're just going to put that in there, and this would be our new fuel distribution office. And what I'll probably do is, once this is built, I'll split the fuel distribution between the two. These guys will shift the fuel west, and then these will shift the fuel in this direction. I don't know why I said west. Up here, things are coming together here, and you can see we're starting to build here. So this is going to be the focus for our next kind of expansion population wise. So I'd like to try and push this area forward, because one thing I do want to really give priority to now is the meat production area here, and I think that is going to be a good intro for the effect of the new update on this series. Because if you've watched the video I made, I actually did use this series as an example for showing the new features. And one thing I do want to show you straight away is that if we come into here, you'll see that my current loyalty is, well, non-existent. But when the new update drops, we're going to end up with a loyalty of 42%, which is exactly the same as when you start a new game. So it means that we're not going to have to build the loyalty from zero, but we're going to have 42%. But what it does mean is we're going to need a bit of a war chest to be able to improve the loyalty in these areas relatively quickly, which means what I'd like to do is possibly have at least 1 or 2 radio stations built before that update drop. It will also mean that we'll probably have to start importing some electronics. Now, another problem I've got is that this city is very compact, and what I'm going to need to do is put in a secret police building. And now, if you watch the video, you'll be aware that both the secret police building and the orphanage are pretty large, but there are already mods being produced that are for smaller buildings. Now, if you watch the video, you'll be aware that I put the demo secret police building in this area here, and that's something I want to do when the update drops. So what I need to do is try and keep this area a bit open. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is just trim these back here, and well, I don't think I need to change that just at the moment. So what we're going to be doing is putting the secret police there, but the other thing I would like to do here is put an orphanage in. But again, this brings us up to this area here. We're going to need this area for the radio station and possibly the orphanage. So that's something I'm definitely going to need to rework going forward. And that also applies to over here, although here we got a lot more space. So what I'm thinking here is that the secret police will be up here, and what we should be able to do is actually build the vanilla secret police building here. So that will actually give us more control. So I need to leave an area here, and that kind of leads into something I do want to do at the moment. Is we're going to push this road out. Let me just turn the wireframe on. We're going to push this road out in this direction, and actually if we push this a little bit further, and if I bring this road up to here and bring this road up to here, we can snick this back here, and we're just going to accept that. Just turn off there. So this will give us a bit more of a grid here to expand Colville. And actually, I'm not sure I need that, because I'm not sure where the local railway will go. So we'll just put a corner in like that. Actually, we'll just, sorry about my indecision. It seems really strange to be going up here to get the icons, because of course in the new update, the icons, the build menu is across the bottom here. So we got that built there, and I think what I need to do is actually check what my construction officers are up to. These guys are working on the open storage. Anything else here? We built this. We got this built here. What is this? We got the wood pitch extraction. I think I would like to start building this. So, and I think there should be a pipeline in here as well. And one thing I have forgotten is that we now have this steel mill up and running, but of course at the moment we don't really have the connections here to make it as efficient as it should be, and we're still building this open store here. But I think once we got this built, we'll be able to start using this as to supply. So but as we get this becomes more and more efficient, what we'll be able to do is use this to start to supply the steel to this area. I think what I'm doing at the moment is the little amount of steel that's being produced is being brought down to here, but I can't remember whether I actually switched the supply of steel. Now at the moment we're still using Nicomo still out, because what I want to do is like build up a little bit of a pile of steel here, and then we'll just flip these guys over to use it. In fact, I think I'll do it now because it's got 8 tons. So what I'm just gonna do is we're just gonna very quickly flip you over to here, so you can pick up the steel from here, and that might speed up the process. But we're just gonna have to keep an eye on this for the moment, because as I say, the real limiting factor at the moment here is bringing all the iron in, and that actually takes me on to the next thing I want to do. You can see we've actually got 770,000 rubles, and what I would like to do is now start seriously thinking about building some railways. This is another suggestion that somebody gave me, and I think if initially all we need is boards, gravel and steel, I should have really built a warehouse here for the gravel, shouldn't I? Let me just see if I can fit one in. If I can't, I can't. That's just the way it is. Well, this doesn't actually have a gravel connection to it. Right, we're gonna have to build a dumper, or buy a dumper. So the first things first, we'll just come in here. Now I've lost we got this dumper here. It's going to cost us 75,000. This is the one that's just arrived. It's replaced. So I think if we get a couple of those, how many slots have I got here? Yeah, I think that should be okay. We're just going to assign you there. Let's come here. And what else do we need? We need we need boards and steel, so we need a couple of open holes as well. I mean, this is going to be very much a slow burn work on process. Okay, we're just going to send you over to here. Now I'm spending money, but I just feel that if I don't make a start on this, I never will do. What we're going to do is actually we're going to put this at the top so I can see what's going on, and then we'll come over to here. You're going to pick up gravel, and then we need boards. I can't remember where is my board production. We've got boards here, so we'll just pick up the boards from here. And of course we're going to slightly drain out the steel from here, but I think to start with we'll just set this at 30% because I don't want them snatching everything. Right, where is this? Fire crew, get in here please, thank you. And I think we're going to skate over to here and see the construction office here. What are you guys working on? You're working on Foodville heating and an unfinished conveyor. I don't think there's anything else in this area we need to build now, because we built the road through here, and I'm kind of inclined to just let these guys catch up with this, but at the same time, I've got to feel, I'd like to feel that I'm getting some groundworks done, because these are all probably in the mid stages now of boards and bricks and things like that. What else have we got here? We certainly need the heat exchanger. I think we're just going to add that on there so that things go along a little bit quicker. Just check our road crew here. So I think we've now effectively completed all the roads in this area, except for this bridge. In fact, this bridge is going to need prefabs, so I think we're going to add Nicomo Large on that. And because even though technically it's a footpath, it's not a footpath. And we got a pedestrian overpass there. I'll just assign you and get this built. And whoops, nearly pressed. Okay, that's not got no connection. I think the problem we're going to have here, and I seriously doubt that we're going to be able to build these with from a construction office, because it's enclosed. What we're probably going to have to do is auto purchase that. We've got this road here. What's up with this? This has got no mechanism. Let me just check the my road crew over here, just to see what they're doing. Oh, thank you, game. What have you got? Yeah, you're building footpaths. Why have we got these lots and lots of little... Okay, what we got here? This is an unfinished road. I think part of the problem here is the fact that they've got no workers build that section through there, because it's too short for a construction office. And the same here, isn't it? This is going to be a little bit of a pain in the neck, to be honest. So we're going to have to kind of get the workers out here. There's probably other ones tucked in here as well. We can't... Wow, that's really small. So we'll just try and find those. Any more on that construction office? Let me just see. It's the fact that they're all on 0 means that they're probably not really doing anything. Let me just see. It says that, oh, these are the footpaths that were being built. Okay. I'm not exactly too sure how we were able to assign that, but I think, yeah, I think all this is to do with the unfinished roads. In fact, if we just do that, we might be able to see a bit better. That's the footbridge there. That's the other road. And we got those two little bits and pieces there. So effectively, these guys haven't got anything to do at the moment. So maybe let's just take a look at pushing out the road this way, because I would like to get this asphalted as well, so that we can move our... What's the infrastructure? So we're just going to get this road built out here. Probably going to be out of range, so I have to allocate it directly. One of the nice new features I like about the new update is the fact that on the left hand side here you've got a kind of activities bar, and in that bar is this construction office assignment tool. So it means that if you want to assign things, you can literally click on it and get that tool up straight away without having to go up and go in this menu here. I'll be completely honest, I'm really looking forward to using the new update. I'll be completely honest, if it wasn't for the fact that I was doing the Four Corners series, I would probably move to the new update with this series straight away. But at the moment, I can't really afford to spend time flipping backwards and forwards between two different versions. Plus, I think trying to play two different versions of the game would probably completely fry my brain, simply because the GUI is just so different on the new update. using the new interface is going to take a little while to get used to, especially as the fact that everything is in a different place. Although I think once you spend some time getting used to it, I think it's going to be worthwhile, because it certainly represents a major quality of life improvement. A lot more things are in logical places, especially like the build menu down the bottom here. And of course another small one is the messages here, because what I find is that down here, like we've got a new vehicle type here, that you don't see this because it's out of your eye line. And what the messages have been done is moved up to here. And what I've found is that it puts it the pop-ups are now in my eye line. I could see what was coming up that could be of interest. We've got 680. Let's just have a look at this here. What have we got here? We got some steel. Why? Oh, we got no storage for boards. I'm gonna bring the boards out first. I think I'm gonna kind of take the. We're gonna need fuel here as well, aren't we? That's something else we're gonna need. And what I'm gonna do is take a look at the options now for mechanisms. 1.2 million, 500,000. 595,000. I think I would certainly like the KZ's 461 railway crane. I mean, the extended would be fantastic, but it's going to take a long time to get to 1.2 million. Although the DKGU crane is quite useful in its own way. I mean, it's not going to be super fast, but it's going to be ultra cheap. So I think what we're going to do is wait until my fuel guys have delivered the fuel. So what we're going to have to do is add even more loading onto this distribution office. And we're just going to get you to deliver fuel to 50%. And that is, how much fuel is that going to take out? 25 tons. It's going to put about 12 tons of fuel in there. Is this construction office now been assigned? No. We do need to get this built. Nakamo, main large. Oops, no. Why? No. They should be, they won't need any assistance with that, so yeah, we've got 138 tons in there. I'm really happy with the fact that we've got some fuel now running. And just want to come over here and see what's going on. I think we've used up all the steel in here, so we got a little bit more coming down and being delivered. So we've got a fairly steady trickle of steel into here. It's just that it's not going to be very much at the moment until we've got this built up, because well, the mistake I made is that the deliveries of iron ore have got to come all the way around here, up and round to there. So until we've got this built, it's not going to be particularly that efficient. And of course, we've got the coal deliveries here, which aren't that much of a problem. And once this conveyor is finished, that should make things a little bit better. In fact, I wouldn't mind getting this built as well. And of course, eventually we're at infill build this. As some of you guys pointed out, that even this is probably not enough ore processing capacity for 2 mines. So again, I'm kind of half thinking about possibly turning this mine round the other way. What I will say is that eventually, if any of you guys have followed my previous series, you're probably going to guess that we're going to probably have a pretty epic conveyor belt system operating over here, because I think what I would really like to do is actually bring the coal and the iron into this area where the steel mills are going to be. And somebody pointed out running 2 steel mills is going to need a lot of coal and a lot of iron. Therefore, using trucks and trains, it's not going to be particularly that efficient. So what I'm thinking is major conveyor lines out here. I just realised that this is now finished, so we're going to, I'm just going to build this in with asphalt straight away, just to make life a little bit easier. And I'm pretty sure we're a long way away from the road crew here. They're building this section here, but what we will do is add this as well, because they don't really have anything much else to do at the moment, so we might as well just take advantage of that and get them building through here. What else have we got going here? So this is built. This is slowly being built. And I think if we can get this going, because we are getting the random workers up here from time to time. And of course we got this here. We need to build this, and because this will be, I think this is the carpenter's workshop. So what we're going to get is board production out here, which means that we won't have to haul boards all the way down there. It also means that we won't need to deliver boards to this area here. In fact, eventually the only thing this area is going to hold is probably prefabs. I want to see my over 21s. We're kind of okay, and we're building this as well, so I don't think we really need to worry too much about that. We're back to nearly 800,000, so we are actually, whoops, sorry about that. We are, what are we doing here? Imports. I mean, basically now the only imports we're bringing in is iron, and the export wise, we're exporting everything across the board here. Cement, oh wow. So this month, so we're up to, we've made 129,000 a month, and we're not at the end of the month yet. So I think we're well set up now to start driving this. And what I'm possibly a bit inclined to do now is what we could do is even import the steel directly into here, so that we can keep pushing this forward. I think I'm going to buy the truck now, and we've got 287,000, 605,000. I'm going to go with this. It's going to be a little bit of a risk, but considering the state of our imports, I think we're going to be able to afford to do this. So we're going to come here, and of course the other thing we're going to need to do is bring a workforce down here as well, which probably means that the truck, we're going to have to sit here and we're going to have to build some money up to buy a bus actually. Yeah, so we've now got our train construction. I think that you getting the train system built is going to be kind of quite important now, and we do need to work on it. I've just noticed we're going to need to build this as well, and we certainly need to build this. This doesn't need that much, so I think we're going to add the Nicomo crew onto that as well, just to get them working on that. And then we're probably going to have to run multiple power lines down into this eventually as well. So we're just going to let that run for a little while. How's the road crew? How many jobs have you got now? We wound up some of these. Well, we've kind of tidied up a few of them. There's part of me that would like to kind of tidy up some of this area as well, but if we got the road crew out here, they're going to be working at very long range, which means that I think I'd rather them focus completely on this area here, although they are doing pretty well actually. Wow, that is pretty good. I'm very impressed by that. Let me just see, we're just going to move back over to here and see what's going on. Right, we've now, looks like we've tidied up some of these footpaths. We need to work on this one. I think this road's going to need the Nicomo, because basically what we need is the workers out here to actually just finish off this. And how about the other one? Did I assign that? It's this one, isn't it? I thought I'd assigned Nicomo to this, but we'll assign you as well. How are we doing up here? We've nearly got the heating plant finished, and we've got power. I mean, it's kind of part of me that would say I'd like to start the logging operation up here, but I don't really want to spend the money on that just at the moment. we back up to nearly 243,000. I'm just thinking where we can pick the workers up for the rail station. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit long. I'm kind of thinking. I said that I was going to reserve this for the security police, didn't I? Don't want to break this. I'm just wondering how many unemployed. Where's the mayoral office in here? Can't remember where it is. Building. List buildings. City Hall. Where are you, City Hall? That's right, it's up here. How many unemployed have we got? Demographics. We don't have that many people unemployed here. That's a surprise. So most of the unemployment is actually over in Colville. Yeah, so we got lots and lots of people unemployed over here. Wow. I want to double check that. Yeah, we got 700 people unemployed over here. So that definitely makes the case for the running the coal mine out here. We've now got a new construction office here as well, which we will be bringing into use eventually. But I don't want to do that in this part. We've got this bus stop here, which I built, which I don't think we're actually going to need, because if we bring accommodation out here, especially from this direction, people will be able to walk into there. What we do need is, I've got a feeling, how overloaded is this bus stop? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start sending workers out to here, purely just so that we can ensure that more and more of this is actually starting to come online. And in fact, there's a real possibility that they could actually walk back that way as well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to set up a line here. Now, another fringe benefit of the new update is the fact that you can see the text down here, the lists of lines, and the font seems to be a little bit bigger now with the new update, but it could be my imagination. And what we're going to do is create a new line from here to here, and we're going to call this Colville Construct Local Industry. We call that Colville Local Industry, and what we're going to, of course, we need to assign a bus to it. Isn't that exciting? So we're going to actually, how many workers would we need in this area? Probably quite a few. We're going to need 30 there. I think we're going to need a fairly large bus to be able to kind of get this online. I know I'm digressing. I wanted to bring the workers to my rail production area, but I think getting the workers out to the new production area is probably a little bit more important. That's 32 workers. That's 40 workers with a top speed of 80. Actually quite like that. That's 52 workers with a top speed of 75. I think we'll go with this one here, and we're just gonna set the line there. You, whoops. I'm just gonna get you going. Can't remember. I think this is the pickup point, isn't it? We'll just have to double check that. Oh yeah, because that's got all the workers on it. And then we're going to come here, and you're just going to unload. And aside with respect to the new update is that what you'll find is that in the drop-off point you get an extra little toggle down here that says force passengers to change vehicles. It looks like a little bit like a miniature dumbbell. I'm just going to put that there. We're probably going to need a new bus station out here eventually. In fact, we've got one over here, haven't we, that's taking the workers up to here. In fact, I'm not seeing the we're not actually seeing the power problems now. I just want to take a look at that as well with the overlay. I'm starting to feel that the putting this power line in here has actually kind of solved the problem overall. Yeah, I mean, this is overloaded because I've got a feeling this, but this is truthfully just power reproduct. But truthfully, this is just producing backup power, which is, well, inconsequential is probably the polite way of saying it. I think I will. So how many workers do we need in here? I don't really want to start putting too many workers down here at the moment. I think we will get a few workers here. Let me just see. Bus. I think we'll start with. This one here. We're just going to put a small bus on this route here, and I think this bus platform is pretty overloaded. So what we're probably going to have to do is bring them down from this one. I mean, I know it's a little bit extra distance, but to be honest, this is a relatively low priority job. What I'm actually going to do is just set this up as a normal route, simply because we're probably going to change this in the future. So we'll just get this going here and bring in all the educated workers up. And I think for the moment, I don't want. Well, we can put them in here. Put this in here like this. Launch that, and then what I'm going to do is take off all the workers off here, because I don't want anyone in here just at the moment. We'll set that there, and hopefully, yes, there's no workers, no prefab panels, but begin with all this section here right through to here is going to be boards, gravel and steel. So that is something we're going to need. Now, while this is getting underway, and what I'm going to do is just have a quick run around and see what's going on, because I don't want this video to be too long. Because I'll be completely honest, making the update video was a pretty long process. Kind of a little bit overdosed on workers and resources today. Here, what we're building here, we've got the Foodville School. We've got the kindergartens being built. We need the tennis playground done. I think we could probably add that there as well. Shouldn't take long to build the playground. Up here, this is now finished, which is good. What is this one here? I think what we could do is we're just going to put all the guys on this as well. And we can get this finished. I think that completes all the roads in this area. We're kind of got. Actually, this has been built, so I'm just wondering if I can assign this now. No. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is auto purchase this. We're just gonna auto purchase this because it's in a bit of a blind there. I mean, I could have knocked this factory connection down and put a footpath from here, but it just seems a bit pointless, to be honest. So we've now got this bridge in here, which will go to the livestock farm here, the livestock farm there. So what we need to do now is start focusing very much on getting Foodville up and running, moving some people in so that we can start producing the meat here. And how are we doing up here? We got this area, Foodville. Yeah, so we're putting the heating plant together. That's good. So we've got no other construction going on here. Let's take a quick look, see if we've got any work. Oh, we run out of gravel already. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of an issue here with respect to gravel. I think what we're going to have to do is jazz this up a little bit. We're going to have to kind of push this up to 90% now. I think the problem is that I kept it that low because I didn't want to drain all the steel away. In fact, I think what we may have to do is change it so that we only drop the gravel and steel from this one, and then we'll put the steel delivery on another distribution office. We have laid our first track. Of course, this is a pretty efficient track layer. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll just drop that steel down a little bit. How much steel do you need? You only need about 5 tons of steel at a time to build things. So if we drop the steel right down for the moment, we don't need that much in the way of boards, because, well, probably a bit more than that. So I think if we kind of come there, push that up, put about 20 odd tons of boards in here, and of course eventually we're going to need to put electro components in here as well. So we've started laying track, and of course we only need boards to get to here, and then once we get to here we're going to have to switch to prefabs, and I don't think I'm actually using electro components, so we can keep building straight away until we've got far enough out, and then what we'll do is we'll electrify the line. In fact, what I'll probably do is build all this section all the way through here before we start electrifying the line, because we need this for here to build the trains. So I think that would probably be the best strategy, and once we get to about here, that means we can then start pushing out this way. It'd be great to make a connection to here, in fact to here as well, so we're going to need to consider bringing this online as well over time. We're laying our first track. Let me just see what these guys are doing. What are you complaining about? Sources without mechanical components, sources without steel. Where are you picking up your mechanical components? Knife edge, yes. So we probably because I've been messing around with the railway here, we're now affecting the mechanical components over here. But of course, once we've got this completely efficient, we can start producing some mechanical components from here. In fact, we're getting workers in here, but we don't have any steel. Okay, right, I need to find the what we call it, the one that's picking the steel up from here. We just find this steel mill. Okay, what I want is for you now to go here, and you're now going to pick up the steel from there, not directly from the steel mill. And hopefully what that would do is give an opportunity for here. And I mean, technically we're not going to deliver anything else to this area here. We've actually got 2.5 tons of what we are going to do is let you mechanical components onto there. Then we've got the workforce in there. So what that does is puts this construction office working from here, and we are getting a few some steel. One thing we do need to do is get this finished. I think that will make quite a big difference, because if we can get the iron ore delivered here directly, we'll get that. This is nearly finished as well, which will make a difference. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we're going to carry on trying to build track. If we build up quite lots of money, what I will probably do is import steel just to try and drive that process forward. We're going to keep focusing on trying to get Foodville up and running and finishing off the area around Colville, and also starting to plan our expansion. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.